Now on Coast TV News.
There's no more snow, but it's still cold outside.
It's tough out here, man.
How people on the coast are coping with the chill. Plow damage. If a DelDOT plow hit your mailbox or property over the weekend, you may be able to file a claim. We'll explain how that works. Plus, the search continues. Police are chasing a new lead after the Brown University shooting. The latest on the investigation.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Our top story tonight, a bird's eye view of all of that snow on Delmarva. The Coast Copter flew over Salisbury today. The weekend snow still quite visible from above. You can see along Route 13. Road crews were out, busy, but most of the main roads look pretty clear. Traffic was really moving along just fine there, and from above we also spotted some solar panels still buried under snow. A field at Purdue Stadium just blanketed in white, and we saw some geese and other birds hanging out on a frozen lake today. The snow, of course, brought out those DelDOT snow plows. Crews were out trying to keep the roads safe, but if by any chance your property was damaged by a DelDOT snow plow, maybe a mailbox, the department wants to hear from you. DelDOT says you can contact its insurance coverage office to report the damage and ask about reimbursement. They ask that you include photos along with the date, time, and location of the incident. Also, neighborhoods that hired someone other than DelDOT to plow their streets might be able to get some money back. DelDOT has a program that reimburses up to 75% of the cost, but that's only for public roads. Private roads are not included. There is also a maximum limit. The temps were below freezing tonight. Some residual ice could be seen around the peninsula from the snow yesterday morning. You can see some icicles there on the car, but people were still going out. We caught up with one couple in Lewis this evening trying to stay warm.
I'm telling you to hunker down, turn the thermostat up just a wee bit, grab a heavy blanket, and heavy boots, because it's tough out here, man. It really is.
It is, and I think it's going to stay that way for a while. Can't say for sure. That's why we have to take a look into Ocean City and turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Christina. And it's just, the cold has been unrelenting, period. But we're going to just show you how cold it really was earlier this morning. We're going to be dropping down to about 23 as early as 3 o'clock for the morning time. So we have our own second wave of cold Arctic air to deal with. But let me show you the tail of the tape real quick. 18 was the low in Georgetown this morning. So was it. 18 was also the low in Easton as well as Dover and in Ocean City. We started at 17 degrees, the starting point in Salisbury, 19 for the low in Cambridge as well as Wallops Island. Now, think about this. 18 is far away from 33, which is where we're supposed to be. But 7, that was the record that was set actually in 1962. We're holding at 26 degrees in Rehoboth right now, 24 in Georgetown, Laurel, 25 in Gumboro and Delmar, with the winds relatively light. But listen, we still feel like 18 in Georgetown and 19 in Laurel right now. And guess what? Tomorrow morning, we're going back into the cellar with the crazy cold weather once again. So stick around as I give you a chance of maybe warming up later on in the work week.
All right, thank you, Paul. I'll be waiting to hear about that chance of warming up. But we're going to go now to our Coast TV poll because we're asking, what do you think is the toughest thing to do in the cold weather? Looking at the results, 31% say staying warm, 29% say running errands, 37% walking the dog, 3% say warming up car. But let us know what you think. You can still vote. It's not too late. We're going to check on this later in the broadcast, so go to our website or use our app and you can vote. New tonight, one man from Philadelphia was arrested following a traffic stop in Millsboro. That's according to Delaware State Police. Police say 61-year-old Jose Morales Colon was pulled over for a headlight out. Troopers say they smelled marijuana and observed signs of impairment. A search of the car recovered drugs, also a concealed machete and other items, and Morales Colon was charged with multiple offenses. The Delaware Electric Cooperative is asking for help after a hit and run that damaged one of their utility poles in Seaford last night. You can see it there on your screen now. Officials say the car was a green 2004 or 2005 Ford Explorer and likely has heavy front end damage. Here's a closer look now at that area. Delaware Electric Co-op says it happened on German Road in Seaford around 5:45 p.m. yesterday, and anyone with information should call Delaware Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, Delaware Natural Resources Police are trying to identify the van you're looking at now. Police say it's connected to illegal dumping and theft near the Rodney Village Shopping Center in Dover. If you recognize this car or you know who owns it, DenRec Police want to hear from you. Now to Cambridge, where the U.S. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon visited Maple Elementary School today. The stop was part of the Education Department's History Rocks tour, which will take administration officials to all 50 states ahead of next year's Independence Day. Congressman Andy Harris joined Secretary McMahon for the visit, along with former counselor to President Trump, Kellyanne Conway. Local leaders, including Cambridge Mayor Lehan Stefaspe, were also in attendance, and this was the fourth stop on the tour, with many more to come across the country. Making national headlines today, the manhunt continues for a third day in the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. 2 students were killed, 9 others injured. This after a person of interest was detained in connection with the attack and then released. As Michael Yoshida reports, Rhode Island's Attorney General now says evidence points in a different direction.
An unidentified killer is still on the loose after a mass shooting Saturday at Brown University.
To know that he may still be on the street is extremely scary.
Police now say they're pursuing a new lead based on photos and videos of an individual taken around 2 p.m. Saturday, hours before the shooting.
The public is encouraged to use the tip line, which is pretty active. We have a tip line which is staffed with officers from the Providence Police as well as analysts, and they're taking calls as we speak. And we want the public to use that information that they have that may be beneficial to this investigation.
While authorities continue to try and identify the motive behind the attack and the person in this brief video clip that they believe is connected to the shooting, those on the Ivy League campus are in mourning.
What I do know is that Brown's grieving, I'm grieving.
Freshman Kamari Mann says one of the victims was his roommate.
Just a ball of joy, a ball of energy. The loss of him would be felt throughout this community because his soul truly did reverberate throughout the community.
Vice President J.D. Vance called the student a brilliant young man who dreamed of being a surgeon, and in a statement posted about victim Ella Cook, said our country has lost one of its bright young stars. In Providence, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
We are just getting started. There's more news coming up, like crosswalk upgrades in Bethany Beach and why a change is being made there. And coming up, Paul Williams in our CoastTV First Alert Weather Center with your full forecast right after this.
Well, we're going to have cold weather part 2 for tomorrow morning, so continue to stay wrapped up, continue to keep the heat cranked up, and continue to just bundle up and protect your skin from being exposed for an extended period of time because the wind chills are going to be dangerously low once again. 25 degrees, Lewis, at this time. And we're going to drop to 24 with some clearing skies by the 3 o'clock hour. We started off at 18 degrees this morning in Georgetown and in Ocean City. That was the starting point. Now here's where we are at this moment. We're at 25 degrees in places like Millsboro, Gumboro, Del Mar, Seaford, Redden, as well as Milton. The winds have finally backed off a bit, and that helps, but we're still cold. But it is better. We don't quite have such a cutting edge on the cold at this present time, but it's still cold. Because listen, it still feels like 18 in Georgetown and Laurel, for example, and it feels like 25 everywhere else. It feels like 19 right now, Indian River Inlet. We have no active advisories in effect for the entire Delmarva Peninsula on the Atlantic side. We do have a small craft advisory that's just been announced by the National Weather Service, watching out for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. So over towards Cambridge, it's even colder there than everywhere else. But you know what? That holds true to form because it was in Cambridge where we recorded a 31-mile-per-hour wind gust and Easton a 29-mile-per-hour wind gust. But the winds are going to start shifting out of different directions, which is going to be helpful. slightly as they come out of the south, really going into Wednesday. That's when a warming trend will kick in. Remember, the direction in which the wind is coming out, it's really helpful or hurtful depending on what you want. This time we want warmer conditions, so coming out of the south is a good thing. In the summertime, it's not so great, but in the winter, yeah, this works in our favor. Now, look at how these winds pick up momentum by Thursday evening. That's interesting, but at least it's out of the south instead of the north. Winds out of the west for tomorrow, so we stay pretty close to where we are with the temperatures with mostly sunny skies. It's going to be a woeful wind chill still, regardless. 36 for the high in Georgetown, for example. We're warm to 38 in Cambridge under mostly clear skies, and a good deal of sunshine in Snow Hill in Berlin and Ocean City with 40 degrees, but it's still going to feel like the 30s. See, we start off clear with 23, 25, generally speaking, inland areas. Then by Tuesday afternoon, we're like near 40. We're not quite there, but we're going to be close to it. We'll go into well into the 40s by the time we get to Wednesday. But we still have the freeze potential for at least 2 more solid days. Tuesday and Wednesday, we still watch out for a hard freeze, at least a light freeze on Thursday. And then finally Friday, well, that's when we change up because that's when the average highs are going to get closer to the average by Wednesday. And then we'll go above the average for Thursday going into Friday. We'll watch out for rain or for Friday going into Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Then one last thing before we close out, look at these wind chills. They get progressively better, but it takes a moment. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
Alrighty, thanks again, Paul. Now you're looking at Route 26 in Bethany Beach. This area is where the town of Bethany Beach will change how people cross the road, and their goal is to make it safer there. As Brandon Ferguson reports, the crosswalks on Route 26 toward the center of Bethany Beach will be removed, and you'll see 2 medians on Route 26 when that work is finished.
Bethany Beach's town council approving this plan to reshape how this section of Route 26 will work for walkers, bikers, and drivers.
I'm a bike rider, and getting across 26 is a challenge at best.
The plan adds an island to 2 sections off of Route 26. One will go here in front of the grottos and one in front of the Wawa, completely doing away with these current crosswalks on 26. Patrick Shepley lives in Bethany and was walking today right where the new medians will go.
So I think it will be helpful and safer for people that are parking over on the south side and walking to the north side of 26 or vice versa.
New signs will also be added to make the island stick out for drivers.
Bethany's town manager explained in this morning's meeting that since Route 26 is a state road, DelDOT could have been responsible for paying the bill. But if they did go down this route, they wouldn't know when DelDOT would actually get to work here on Route 26 with other road projects happening in the area. So the town is paying $274,000 for the new median, crosswalks, and signs that will go here on Route 26. That's already budgeted for this project.
Bethany Beach Mayor Ron Califf says from his own experience, a change is needed for this part of Route 26.
You got a lot of cars crossing, and it needs to be a little more controlled. For pedestrians getting across, it's extremely difficult.
As winter settles in here on the coast, the town is eyeing the transformation of this half-mile stretch to be complete before next summer.
And Mayor Califf said at one point a traffic light was proposed for where that crosswalk in front of the grottos will go, but after a DelDOT survey, a crosswalk and island fit better for the area. If you live in Millsboro and have any ideas on how to make downtown more aesthetically pleasing, listen up here. The town wants your input. Officials are asking residents, business owners, and visitors to take a downtown aesthetics survey. The town says the feedback will help guide possible upgrades and enhancements, and you can find that survey on the Town of Millsboro's website. Coming up next, Roomba's at risk. The company behind their robotic vacuum is being taken over as it struggles to stay afloat. And coming up, Hollywood in mourning. Fans and friends gather at Rob Reiner's Walk of Fame star after the tragic deaths of him and his wife. The latest on the investigation and how Hollywood is paying tribute.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
The Delaware Economic and Financial Advisory Council, or DFAC, just released its latest forecast for the state's revenue next year. DFAC says Delaware could have $6.73 billion to spend. That's in fiscal year 2027, and it's actually $365 million more than what was expected 2 months ago. By law, the state can only spend 98% of that total. The governor's suggested state operating and capital budgets, which will be unveiled late next month, will be based on this projection. iRobot, the American company that makes Roombas, is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Under its restructuring plan, it will be taken over by Pakia Robotics. It's a Chinese company. It's iRobot's largest creditor and main supplier. 3 MIT engineers founded iRobot back in 1990, and they later popularized robot vacuum cleaners with the Roomba, which was introduced in 2002. But earnings have declined under pressure from competition by cheaper Chinese rivals and other issues. Police in Los Angeles are investigating the murders of iconic filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. Authorities have arrested one of their sons, their deaths sending shockwaves through Hollywood. Jen Sullivan reports on how they're being honored by fans and friends.
The usual bustling and vibrant Hollywood Walk of Fame, quiet and somber Monday as mourners gather to remember iconic director Rob Reiner, his Hollywood star, surrounded by flowers.
They were a loving couple and family, and they embraced everyone.
Police say Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer were brutally murdered in their home in Brentwood, a suburb of Los Angeles, Sunday night. Authorities say their son, Nick Reiner, is responsible for their deaths.
He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
That bail later revoked. A source familiar with the incident says their daughter, Romney Reiner, discovered their bodies, their deaths sending shockwaves and tributes throughout Hollywood.
He was, as they say in Hollywood, a mensch, a trustworthy and friendly and stable and reliable person.
Harry Shearer and Reiner collaborated and starred in Spinal Tap 2, one of the many films Reiner worked on. Some of his Hollywood hits include iconic films like A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, and The Princess Bride. But his breakout role was as Archie Bunker's son-in-law on TV's All in the Family.
Being around him was larger than life, and jovial always. A great laugh. Love to laugh.
Reiner and Michelle met on the set of When Harry Met Sally and married in 1989. Their son Nick, now suspected of their murders, was seen having an argument with his father at a holiday party the night before their deaths, according to a source familiar with the incident. As police continued to investigate, family, friends, and fans paying tribute to the 78-year-old filmmaker. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Coming up in sports tonight, the Delmarva Sports Network hands out the Dream Team of the Year award. There were 12 finalists, but one group got a surprise visit earlier tonight. And coming up in health news, a measles case reported in the Northeast. We'll tell you where and how health officials are tracking where it may have spread.
And we're looking at your Bay forecast. It's going to be another cold one for Tuesday, but we have a warming trend that's going to kick in nicely by Thursday.
Connecticut has its first case of measles in more than 4 years. According to the Department of Public Health, the case is in an unvaccinated Fairfield County child under the age of 10. The child recently traveled internationally and began showing symptoms of measles several days later. The symptoms included a cough, runny nose, congestion, fever, and then a rash that starts at the head and was spreading throughout their body. Now, according to the state's health commissioner, an investigation is underway to discover where the child could have spread the disease.
Sometimes people forget the impact of a disease, and we've had 25 years of small outbreaks here and there, but they were able to be quashed in their place. What we've seen this year is more sustained transmission around the country.
There have been more than 1,800 cases of measles reported nationwide in 2025, the most since the virus was declared eliminated in 2000, according to the International Vaccine Access Center. Well, December is National Safe Toys and Gifts Month, and experts are urging everyone to give gifts that are safe for young children, as some toys do pose a danger. Tonight, Mandy Gaither has more on what to think about as you shop for presents this holiday season.
It's the season of giving, but experts say some gifts can come at a dangerous price.
Each parent has two eyes and a lot of things to do, and things happen quickly.
Dr. Maureen Almond with Cleveland Clinic says if you're buying gifts for young children, the first thing to stay away from is anything that has a button battery in it.
Kids can swallow those and the parents don't really realize it.
If the gift must have a battery, Almond recommends only buying ones that need a screwdriver to be opened. Next, avoid toys using artificial intelligence.
Apparently there's some toys that have AI features that will have conversations with the child, and this could obviously be very dangerous.
Almond says she also sees a lot of injuries from motorized vehicles like electric scooters or bikes, so she urges caution if these are on your child's list.
It is better, even though it's not flashy and doesn't seem super exciting, to get kids things that don't have all the bells and whistles, like books, puzzles, board games, things that make them use their muscles.
Finally, Almond says to avoid giving young children toys with small parts or anything that can break off.
A general rule of thumb is if the toy or a part of the toy that comes off fits through a toilet paper roll, that's too small for small children.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Christmas is almost here, and with that is our Bless Our Children campaign. You can see our tree here in the newsroom full of cards with donations from viewers just like you, making sure that every child has a Christmas present to open Christmas morning. I have a card right here. I'll read it to you. This is from Ann Taylor and Princess Anne, who says, "For our children." Thank you, Anne, for this card. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can do that right now at blessourchildren.org. Businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help, send a donation in a holiday card, and we may just read it on the air. Send a check or money order to the address on your screen, or donate online at blessourchildren.org.
We have already raised more than $300,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, thank you to anyone who has donated. Now it's time to check out today's holiday house. It's the best time of year. We get to see all your decorations. Let's take a look. This is from Bonnie Foxwell in East New Market, Maryland. She says that's just a few of her trees. Bonnie, where's the rest of the trees? I want to see them all, but very beautiful. Love the stockings as well. Thank you so much for sharing, and you can send your own pictures as well. Go to our website. Moving to sports now, the Delmarva Sports Network gave out its Dream Team of the Year award today. Tyler Aiken visited the West Salisbury Little League to surprise the winners.
The West Salisbury Little League All-Star team is a tight-knit group.
1, 2, 3, West! We've become really close friends because we've been together for about every single day of the week because we practice a ton together and we play a lot together.
Whether they're winning the 2024 Maryland State Championship game or just practicing, these kids do everything the right way. So we set up a bit of a surprise. You guys are here for a picture, right? Can we get in on the picture with you guys? We brought some stuff with us for this picture. So our friends at Toyota and Pohanka and us at DSN, we have decided that the West Salisbury Little League, not just the Dream Team of the Month. You guys are our first ever Delmarva's Dream Team of the Year. So congratulations. Brent Skeeter has worked with Little League teams for 25 years, but this team has something special.
I've actually coached a lot of good players, been very fortunate. A lot of played college and stuff like that. But this group, they just had amazing pitching, really solid defense, timely hitting, everything you hear about all the cliche type things. Our team had it.
Their biggest advantage is what's within.
Just the intensity and everybody's trying their best and working together. We have big hearts, stuff in regionals. All the other people are 5 times our size, and we still pulled off a game.
Well, we're maybe smaller physically, but you know, I guess we had that heart. In fact, we kind of have a saying, heart and mind, and I think that's what we had, a combination heart and mind. Baseball, size doesn't matter that much in baseball. It's not like football or basketball. It's, you know, if you just play the game the right way, you'll be in good shape.
Congratulations to the West Salisbury Little League for winning Delmarva's Dream Team of the Year award, sponsored by Toyota. Reporting from Salisbury, Maryland, I'm Tyler Aiken, DSN.
We're checking in on our Coast TV poll one more time tonight. We're asking what you think is the toughest thing to do in the cold weather. It looks like we're at a tie right now, running errands and staying warm. I feel like those go hand in hand. So thank you for your answers. We love to hear what you have to say. Now let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
I'll have a chance to try to stay warm tomorrow too, thanks to the forecast, all right? In Milford, we're at 22 degrees right now. We're going to stay in the lower 20s. Actually, here's a look at your umbrella giveaway winner, and here's a look at your 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. You can download our app for more news and weather, and The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. Have a good night.